Hello students, welcome back to the channel. So today in the session we are going to discuss goal stack planning in artificial intelligence. So this particular topic is a very important for your college as well as your competitive examinations. We will discuss its introduction, features, advantages, disadvantages, and also I will share with you some examples that will help you get a clear idea how goal stack planning works under AI. So this is our lecture number 52 in AI series. So now let's just start this session. So students, goal stack planning is nothing but it is a linear planning. As we all know, in data structures, stack works in a linear manner. That's how you can relate it with linear planning techniques that we have discussed in previous sessions also. So goal stack planning is basically a linear planning technique that uses a stack data structure to manage its goals and sub goals during the planning process. Other than this, we can also say that a goal stack planning is a backward planning system. It is a backward planning system in AI where a stack data structure is used to manage all the predictions, to manage all the preconditions, its actions and everything, right? The planner starts with the final goal. As we have discussed in planning system, we have two levels. One is the initial level and another is your goal set, right? So here the planning starts with the final goal, pushes it into the stack and then works backward. That's why it is called a backward planning system, pushing necessary actions and their preconditions onto the stack until all goals can be achieved from the initial state. We all know now we have two data structure. One is stack data structure and another is queue data structure. So you can easily relate stack planning system with the stack data structure, right? Basically, it involves some methods like decomposing a complex goal. Like we have a big unrelated goal in the system. So we just decompose a complex goal into sub goals. Here is the complex goal. We always divide this into sub goals. Then in the another point, planning actions to safely each sub goal to satisfy all safely sub goals. Another can be pushing and popping. We have 2 points in stack data structure. One is push system and one is pop system. Push is the end from where we insert the data, right? And pop is a place, pop is the end from where we get the output, right? So push and pop always works in stack planning systems. So students, it is basically a backward means end planning method which focuses on what do I need to do to achieve this goal. Now let's just talk about how it works. After that, we will discuss its key components. So how goal stack planning in AI works. So at first step, we will initialize the stack. It is start by pushing the goal state into the stack. At another step, we will process the created stack. Here we pop the top element, right? Here we pop the top element, that is our goal or action or precondition. If it is a goal condition and not yet satisfied, then find an action that achieves it. Again, then we push the action and its preconditions into the stack. Again, if it is an action, apply it to update the current state. And at the third point, we repeat the point number 2 until we achieve our goal state, right? Keep doing this until the stack is empty and all goals are satisfied. So this is basically a three-step process. Now let's just talk about the key components. So the first component here is stack. It holds the goals, actions, preconditions to be processed. It has one initial state, the known starting condition of the world. It has one goal state, that is the desired end conditions to be achieved. Another can be the operators, like we have stripe format, we have preconditions and effect. Another key component is the planner. It applies actions in reverse to reduce goals to the initial state. Right? Some other features. So here we have some advantages, but before moving to the advantages, I would like to share with you some features of goal stack planning. So the first feature is backtracking friendly. So it is very easy to backtrack if an action falls, right? Another feature can be it is structured, as we have already discussed in the previous session. Linear planning is always follows a structured approach. So similarly, goal stack planning is also a structured approach. It uses a stack to systematically decompose the goals. Another is backtrack reasoning. So students, it focuses on what's required to achieve any goal, that is called backtrack reasoning. No parallel actions required there. No parallel actions are needed there because it is a linear system, and in linear system we don't use any parallel actions, right? If we talk about non-linear system, then always in non-linear we follow parallel actions. We do so many tasks simultaneously to achieve a goal in a faster way, right? Other than this, we have some other features like goal decomposition. A complex goal can be broken down into achievable sub-goals based on operators or actions. Another feature can be sub-goal interaction handling, right? Sub-goal interaction handling. So sometimes one action undergoes the effect of other. That is called goal clobbering. This must be carefully managed. Another is no parallelism, that we have already discussed. Yes, this goal stack planning is very simple to implement. It is very easy to implement. It because it is a static domain, it always uses stripes format like action models. Clear? Now let's talk about some advantages of goal stack planning. So the first advantage is its simplicity. Simplicity means it is easy to implement using stack operations. Another can be your clarity. Straightforward backward planning processes can be used. Modularity means easy to extend with additional operators and goals. Suitable for simple domain means ideal for well-structured deterministic environments. So these are the advantages. Along with the advantages, we have some limitations of goal stack planning also. So I'm writing the limitations over here. So students, the first limitation is it does not follow parallelism. It does not follow parallelism. That means it cannot handle tasks that could occur concurrently. Another limitation is fragile to change. It is fragile to change. That means it does not adapt well to dynamic or uncertain environment. Another point can be sub-goal clobbering. Actions for one goal might interfere with another, that is sub-goal clobbering. As we have discussed earlier, one big goal is divided into sub-goals and we need to achieve these sub-goals in a structured manner. Sometimes sub-goals collaborate with each other. These actions for one goal might interfere with another, right? This is the disadvantage of using goal stack planning. Another disadvantage is it is inefficient in large domains. Inefficient in large domains. So stack may grow too large with complex plans. Right, everyone? Now, before ending the session, we will definitely compare its features with partial order planning. So basically, goal stack planning is a linear order and partial order planning is in partial order, that is non-linear order. Goal stack algorithm is a backward method and partial order planning is usually backward, but not always backward. Flexibility is not there in goal stack planning, but in case of partial order planning, it is highly flexible. Right? Concurrency is not at all supported by goal stack planning, but concurrency is highly supported by partial order plannings. If we talk about its implementation, so goal stack planning implementation is stack based as its name implies, that is, it is very simple. It uses very simple implementation. If we talk about partial order planning's implementation, then that's implementation is complex and it requires constraint handling. Clear, everyone? So I hope every point is clear to you. If you have any doubt, you can surely comment below. I will help you all. So thank you so much, everyone, and all the very best.